We talked about the contents of the arm region and mentioned that the arterial supply of the arm is by an artery known as the brachial artery. In other words, the artery supplies the muscles of the anterior compartment of the arm. As you can see here, the arterial supply of the upper limb is shown here. Since we will be focusing on the brachial artery in this lecture, let's zoom in a little. Whenever we study an artery, students should know where it starts from. The brachial artery is the continuation of the axillary artery. The axillary artery, as the name suggests, passes through the axilla. We have discussed the axillary artery and its branches in great detail in our video on the upper limb axilla. Coming back to the brachial artery, it extends from the lower border of the teres major muscle to a point in front of the elbow. That is, at the radius's neck level, just medial to the tendon of the biceps brachii. So we can say the brachial artery is a continuation of the axillary artery, which begins at the lower border of the teres major muscles. It runs downward, laterally, in front of the arm and crosses the elbow joint. At the end of its course, it divides into terminal branches known as radial and ulnar arteries. As you can see, the artery's course is longer than many shorter arteries. That is why it is related to many structures in the arm region. So before we talk about the branches of the artery, let's discuss the relations of the brachial artery first. For a better understanding of the relations of the brachial artery are divided as relationship to muscles, relationship to nerves, and relationship to veins. Let's jump into the details of each of these relationships, starting with the relationship to muscles. We have already talked about the muscles in the arm region. The brachial artery is closely related to the muscles of both the anterior and posterior compartments of the arm. First, from above downwards, the artery lies successively on the long head of the triceps, the medial head of the triceps, the brachialis. Its lowest part lies medial to the biceps tendon. This part of the artery lies in the cubital fossa. As for the relationship to nerves, the uppermost part of the brachial artery is related to the same nerves that surround the third part of the axillary artery. Let's revise these nerves once again. First, we have the radial nerve, which is posterior to it. The median nerve is lateral to the brachial artery, and the ulnar nerve is medial to it. The radial nerve is related only to the uppermost part of the brachial artery. It separates from the artery by passing posterior to the humerus. The median nerve descends along the lateral side of the upper half of the artery. It then crosses in front of the artery and comes to lie along its medial side. The ulnar nerve lies medial to the upper half of the artery. Lower down it parts company from the artery as it pierces the medial intermuscular septum to enter the posterior compartment of the arm. That is the relation of the brachial artery with the nerves of the arm region. Lastly, let's look at the relationship to veins. We have discussed the superficial veins of the arm before. The brachial artery is closely related to them. The brachial artery is accompanied throughout its length by small veins known as vena comitant. The basilic vein comes to lie medial to the artery a little above the elbow, but is separated from it by deep fascia. The vein pierces the deep fascia near the middle of the arm and thereafter ascends in close company with the artery. At the upper end of the brachial artery, the venae comitantes join the basilic vein to form the axillary vein. Note that there is no brachial vein. The superficial veins of the arm are the ones responsible for the venous supply of the arm. Now that we have gone through the relations of the brachial artery, let's jump into the names of its branches. First, we have the profunda artery, which arises near the beginning of the brachial artery and follows the radial nerve into the spiral groove of the humerus. As you can see, it runs at the posterior aspect of the humerus which is the artery of the posterior compartment of the arm. The superior ulnar collateral artery arises near the middle of the upper arm and runs along the ulnar side. It closely related to the ulnar nerve. Next, we have the inferior ulnar collateral artery arises near the termination of the artery and takes part in the anastomosis around the elbow joint. There is also a small branch called the nutrient artery to the humerus. There are muscular branches that supply blood to the muscles of the anterior compartment of the arm. Lastly, there are the terminal branches known as the radial artery and the ulnar artery. The mnemonic to remember the branches of the brachial artery is, please stand in the row near you, where each capitalized letter denotes the name of the arterial branch. As shown here, you can pause and read through the names of branches to retain them with the help of the mnemonic. The brachial artery is clinically significant as it is the artery used to take up the pulse of the upper limb and measure blood pressure. To measure blood pressure, a device known as sphygmomanometer is used. The method of the measurement of blood pressure is an inflatable cuff is tied around the arm. A stethoscope is placed on the brachial artery as it lies in the cubital fossa. The cuff is inflated until the brachial artery is compressed and blood flow is cut off. The pressure is slowly decreased till blood begins to flow again. Characteristic sounds heard through the stethoscope enable the estimation of systolic and diastolic pressure. That is all about the brachial artery in the arm region.
Explore our extensive library of over 1,800 video lectures to learn about a wide range of topics. Only on sqadia.com.